Hi there, I'm Casey Worley, and welcome to another episode of The Community Show. On this week's show, as usual, we're going to have What's Going On, featuring news and events from Floyd and Wythe Counties, sponsored by the Floyd Press and the Wytheville Enterprise. And then we're going to move on to sports action, with sports from Floyd County, Fort Chiwell, and George Wythe High Schools. And then on this week's Something to Chat About, we're going to be sitting down to chat with Katie Worley, Kelsey Sapp, and Bailey Gardner, the varsity cheerleading captains for sideline and competition. We're going to be chatting with them about their competition that they just had this last weekend, and then the one coming up this weekend. And so then after that, we're going to have a video from the Floyd Press that was recently created, and then we're going to close the show out with another Healthy Living segment with Lanice Anderson. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome to What's Going On. We will begin by discussing Wytheville news, sponsored by the Wytheville Enterprise. Despite protests from several residents, the Wythe County Board of Supervisors voted last week to amend its vehicle license tax ordinance. The board passed the amendment 6-0. The amendment is for an ordinance that the board passed last year. Under the new ordinance, the $20 vehicle decal fee will be absorbed into property tax bills. The amendment states that for the first year, residents will be charged for each car that they have registered with the DMV. Next, the United Way of Wythe County recently kicked off its 2014 campaign with a social and silent auction at the Wolfhart House Dinner Theater. The event raised about $3,700. Auction items included Virginia Tech tickets, gift certificates, artwork, gift baskets, clothes, and more. The United Way hopes to raise $230,000 during this year's campaign. The United Way of Wythe County aids local health and human services agencies. More than 70 law enforcement officers and state and local officials helped honor the Virginia State Police Trooper Andrew D. Fox during a plaque dedication ceremony last Thursday at the Meadow Event Park in Caroline County. Fox, a Wythe County resident, sustained fatal injuries on October 5th of 2012 while working traffic detail during a special assignment at the State Fair of Virginia. A plaque honoring his life and service will be mounted outside the Meadow Event Park's Public Safety Operations Center, and a second plaque will be placed inside the building. Virginia Farm Bureau President Wayne F. Pryor said that organization considers it a privilege to commemorate Fox's life and service. The Farm Bureau purchased the meadow earlier this year. Fox, who was a native of Tazewell County, said that he and his wife Jenny lived in Wythe County near the Wythe-Pulaski line at the time of his death. A Jeep driven by a Hanover County woman struck Fox, who was 27, while he directed traffic at the fair. He and other troopers had worked traffic at the fair every year since it moved to Meadow Event Park 3 years earlier. Got milk? Max Meadows Elementary School does and celebrates the importance of healthy beverage. The school joined others around the globe Wednesday to observe World School Milk Day, which promotes the benefits and value of school milk programs. It included a variety of activities, including a visit from the No-Kick Cow. Many of the students dressed in black and white, the color of the Holstein cow from which most milk comes. Among the guests was Debbie Moody, who is the Assistant Director of Museums for the town of Wytheville. She brought the life-size No-Kick cow, which students were allowed to milk. Part of the Heritage Education Program, Moody noted, is to teach children that everything doesn't start at the grocery store, that it begins somewhere else. World School Milk Day was a great day, and the students were so nice and the school was great, Moody noted. The school's cafeteria manager, Carolyn Copenhaver, organized the events for the day. She promotes the importance of milk to students every day. Next, Dickie Davis is one of Wythe County's best-known horse breeders and showmen. The Max Meadows resident has won hundreds of awards for his efforts over the years. The most recent one comes from the American Saddlebred Horse Association of Virginia. The Virginia Award was presented September 28th at an ASHAV show at the Virginia Horse Center in Lexington. Accepting the honor on behalf of him was her son, Agnes Davis. Valerie Leanne Krieger, age 28, of Wytheville, was convicted of 2 counts of manufacturing meth on Thursday, September 26th in Wythe County Circuit Court. Krieger was on probation for felony drug-related offenses at the time of her arrest, causing the court to revoke a portion of her suspended sentence. Altogether, Krieger will be serving an active sentence of 7 years and 11 months. The new convictions stem from 2 separate incidents. On January 4th, officers from the Wythe County Sheriff's Office and the Virginia State Police Lab team executed a search warrant at a residence on Old Mountain Road in Wythe County. Krieger was inside the residence, where items consistent with the production of meth were found: Gatorade bottles containing sludge, a 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle containing sludge, coffee filters, lithium metal, a plastic bottle with meth residue, and a Coleman fuel canister. While Krieger was on bond for the January charge, on March 27th, officers of the Virginia State Police executed a search warrant on Holston Road in the town of Wytheville. When the police arrived, Krieger ran out of the back door of the residence. Wytheville Police Department officers assisted in apprehending Krieger. Inside and outside near the residence, components of a one-pot meth lab were discovered. Krieger was later interviewed and admitted to assisting others in the manufacture of meth at the residence. Accused of shooting police officers, a Crockett man is facing numerous felony charges following a 9-hour standoff on Tuesday night. Donald Irvin Hayes, age 53, of Greek Miller Road, was taken into custody early Wednesday morning after police launched gas canisters into his residence. According to Chief Deputy Keith Dunnigan of the Wythe County Sheriff's Office, deputies and investigators went to Hayes' home around 7:30 p.m. Tuesday to serve an arrest warrant accusing him of domestic violence. Dunnigan said Hayes had a history of resisting arrest. Hayes' mother, Betty Hayes, lodged the complaint against him around 6:10 p.m. on Tuesday, police said. Approached by an investigator, the chief deputy said Donnie Hayes indicated he had firearms in his residence. He then pushed the officer away, fled into the house, and yelled that he wasn't going to jail. Now, moving on to Floyd news, sponsored by the Floyd Press. Topeka Church of the Brethren will be holding a benefit barbecue supper and singing for Letty Thompson on October 12th to help with accumulating medical bills that have skyrocketed since Letty was diagnosed with relapsing remittal multiple sclerosis in 2008. The meal starts at 4:30 and runs until 5:30 for takeouts. Dine-in meal begins at 5:30 and ends at 7 o'clock. Cost will be $7 for adults and $5 for children 10 and under. Music will start at 7 o'clock. Several local bands will be performing. Letty is the daughter of Henry and Phyllis Thompson of Willis. Henry grew up in the Meadows of Dan area, and Phyllis is from Willis, the daughter of Glenn and Mary Lee Hodges. Phyllis is a longtime employee of Mabry Mill. Filming for the romantic comedy Geographically Desirable has begun, and now the crew is gearing up for a shoot in Floyd, October 14th through the 18th. Mike Kravinsky, who wrote the script and is directing the film for his company Next Nick Films, LLC, based in Virginia, said the shoot in Floyd will be the biggest thing we're doing. The window of opportunity is small, so we're hiring lots of people to make sure it goes smoothly. Geographically Desirable tells the story of a woman who basically lives and breathes her job in TV news in Washington, D.C., so much that she can't even keep a plant alive. She works the overnight shift, so her world is a little fuzzy. An uncle that she remembers from when she was younger passes away suddenly, and in the process of going to his funeral in the small town in which he lived, she finds out that she has inherited his dog and house. She wants to sell the house and move back to D.C., but the town grabs a hold of her in their kindness and they won't let go. She also meets a guy in town. Kravinsky said that he was writing the script and he wanted a small town that had both rural roots and was also an artist community. He said he was thinking there were all these places around the country and then wondered what there was in Virginia. He went to the internet and the first thing that came up in Google was Floyd. Kravinsky recalled that it was a Thursday and he was reading his script, and both he and his wife worked from home in the D.C. area. He then told her that he had to go to Floyd. He drove all the way to Floyd and said he was not disappointed. He stated that it was exactly what he wanted. He wasn't planning on telling anyone about his plans during his visit here, and just walked around town until he went by the Chamber of Commerce office. The Chamber's director, Melody Pogue, was there along with Jason Gallimore, who oversees festival promotions at the local Chantilly farm. Kravinsky began talking to them, and then he said the next thing he knows is he's getting all this support. Kravinsky was told about the thriller House of Good and Evil that was filmed in Floyd last year and was given contact information for that film's producer, Blue de Gaulier. New River Community Action has received 2 federal grants to support the renovation of its building located at 323 Floyd Highway South. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has awarded $112,000 for renovation at the Head Start section of the building. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture has awarded $24,000 for Head Start furniture and equipment. Both grants require matching cash or in-kind revenues. The HHS grant requires $28,000 and the USDA grant requires $20,000 in non-federal support. The HHS grant and required match must be spent by May 31st of 2014. The NRCA facility roof was damaged by hail and snow, forcing programs to relocate to temporary sites, including the Jacksonville Center for the Arts. Following a thorough review of the Floyd Highway South building structure and local space options, the New River Community Action Board of Directors made the decision to renovate the building. A new sloped roof was installed using insurance, grant, and general NRCA funds. Since the HHS and USDA grants can only be used for Head Start-related expenses, additional funds and in-kind support are needed to complete the renovations. Community support so far includes the removal of damaged ceiling and insulation by the Floyd County High School Construction Arts class and the Floyd Moose Lodge. The new plumbing will be installed using private donations. The Virginia Tech Residential Honors College and Landscape Architecture Department have committed to design, build, and help raise funds for the replacement of the old Head Start playground. Willow Springs Tree Farms has offered to donate the design and labor for landscaping. Floyd County Circuit Judge Mark Long Tuesday sentenced Bobby Williams Jones, Jr., age 48, of Reiner, to 4 years in prison and suspended the remaining 11 years of a 15-year sentence on guilty pleas for manufacturing crystal meth and possession of precursors. Jones, a lifelong resident of Floyd County, admitted he was a medium to heavy drug problem and asked Long for consideration in sentencing. The Hotel Floyd expansion is moving along, and completion is expected in mid-March of 2014 with a grand opening in April. The new addition, rising to 4 stories, will continue the theme of the current structure, showcasing the essence of Floyd. Local businesses and organizations will put their personal stamp on the rooms. On September 17th, the new room sponsors were invited to an informational meeting hosted by owners Jack Wall and Kamala Bowers and general manager Derek Wall at the Floyd Eco Village. The hotel currently offers 16 units, which include the 2 pet-friendly units in a separate building. With the expansion, the hotel will host 40 rooms. And that is all for today's What's Going On. Stay tuned. When we return, we will have this week's sports action.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
And now for this week's sports action. Beginning with football. The Floyd County Buffaloes travel to Radford to take on the Bobcats this week. Game time is scheduled for 7 p.m. The George Wythe Maroons will be at home against Northwood on Friday, October 11th, and kickoff is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. The Fort Chiwell football team travels to Galax this week for a 7 o'clock p.m. game on Friday, October 11th. Moving on to volleyball. The Floyd varsity girls will travel to take on the Giles Spartans on Thursday, October 10th at 7 p.m. Then they will host the Glenver Highlanders volleyball team on Tuesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. The George Wythe varsity girls volleyball team will have a home game against Marion Senior on Tuesday, October 14th at 7:30 p.m. The Fort Chiwell volleyball team will play on Tuesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. as they take on Grayson on the Fort Chiwell home court. Moving on to cross country. Fort Chiwell is the only team competing this week as they travel to Abingdon for a meet on Wednesday, October 16th beginning at 4 p.m. And then finally, the Floyd County High School varsity cheerleading competition team will be traveling to Graham High School for an invitational competition on Saturday, October 12th, beginning at 9 a.m. And that is all for this week's sports action. Find out more on these sports and others by checking out your local high school website. Up next, we will be chatting with the FCHS varsity cheer captains as we chat about their first competition and more. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Gardner Funeral Home has been a family-owned and operated business since 1979. In the past 34 years, we have updated and expanded our facilities to meet the needs of the families we serve. We offer many arrangement options to help you create a funeral or memorial service that honors the memory of your loved one. This is Bobby Gardner, and I consider it a privilege to serve the people of Floyd County.
And welcome to Something to Chat About. Our three guests today are Kelsey Sapp, Bailey Gardner, and Katie Worley. They are the varsity cheerleading captains for this year. So I know recently you all did your first competition cheerleading match. And how was that? How was it cheering at your first competition?
It was a lot of fun, and it was unbelievable that we got first at our very first competition. I've honestly never been prouder of a group of people in my life.
All right, and how long have you all been cheering?
I've been cheering like rec since 3rd grade, and I did competition from 6th through 9th grade, and then of course I've cheered every year at the high school, so a pretty long time now.
All right, and how about you, Bailey?
3 years.
3 years. And you, Katie?
I cheered at Czech Elementary School in like 3rd grade, so since 3rd grade on.
Okay, great. And what is it like cheering? What does cheering mean to you?
Cheering's my life. It's the only thing I've ever really wanted to do, and I remember coming to cheer camp here when I was in kindergarten, and from that point on, it's all I wanted to do, and I hope to continue doing it.
Great. You, Bailey?
I like cheering a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a good switch up from playing football. A lot of different activities, more fun that way, and yeah, it's just a lot more positive atmosphere, and I like it better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot different from basketball, but I enjoy it a lot. We're basically a big family here, so you have a lot of togetherness on this team, I guess. It's just a lot of fun. I love cheerleading.
Great. And you said the first competition went well. I know you got first. So what are you looking forward to with the other competitions?
Well, we're just looking forward to keep doing as good as we've been doing and see what we can do with the rest of the season.
Great. And which do you like better, each of you, sideline cheer or competition cheer?
I can't pick a favorite.
Okay.
I like both of them too much.
What about you, Bailey?
Competition cheering.
Yeah, I can't pick a favorite. I love the Friday night lights kind of football game kind of thing, but I also really enjoyed the competition this past weekend. It was a lot of fun getting in front of the crowd and having all eyes on us for once.
Great. And when is your next competition?
October 12th at Graham High School.
Okay, great. So to recap, their next competition is October 12th, this coming Saturday, at Graham High School. And now we're going to watch their video from this past Saturday of the whole competition that they did. So stay tuned for that.
This is Bud Foster speaking for Harvey's. Harvey's Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Floyd has been a great addition to the Harvey's automotive family. There's a great line of cars and trucks. You get friendly, no pressure attention, and excellent service. They have a wide selection of new Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge products, as well as lots of used vehicles at truly fantastic prices. And the only thing better than the drive out to Floyd is the drive home. Visit Harvey's Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge in Floyd, Virginia.
Main Streets sure have changed in America over the past 100 years or so. The family-owned businesses are under pressure from big box retailers. But at Bank of Floyd, we're here serving the financial needs of our communities just as we did more than a century ago.
There's no doubt we've been through some turbulent times. We've seen that in our communities and we've seen it in our industry. Our job as bankers is to help our customers be as financially successful as they possibly can be. What we do best at Bank of Floyd is to craft individual solutions for individual customer needs, and we do it again and again, every day. We invest in technologies that provide relevant solutions to customers. If it doesn't meet that criteria, we don't do it.
Today, Bank of Floyd continues to serve the community by putting people first. As a small business themselves, Bank of Floyd realizes the importance of supporting small businesses to a sustained economic recovery.
Community banks get that. We live it. That's why at Bank of Floyd, we form such a natural partnership with small businesses. Good morning, Mike LaRue. For example, Donnie Baker was challenged with managing his banking relationships. He needed to be focused on cows and customers, not on his bankers' needs. As a result, we designed a solution that met his needs efficiently and effectively to provide him that opportunity.
Go ahead and let them out. I am a farmer. We handle cattle for ourselves and other farmers in the area, older people. We purchase a cattle farm and bring them in, process them, put them out on their grass in the summertime most of the time, and when they're done with them in the fall of the year, we buy them back and market. We just market them back for them.
For Donnie, driving to the bank would mean losing valuable time and resources. By listening to Donnie's challenges, Mike LaRue was able to present him with a solution utilizing the latest technology, allowing Donnie to run his business more efficiently.
They've come to us. They've set all this up, and I really appreciate that. I mean, it's took a lot off of us. I mean, every time you have to turn around and go somewhere, you know, that takes time out of our day, takes time away from our customers.
Now Donnie's staff can scan checks for deposit and conduct all of their banking transactions right from the farm. This level of personalized customer service is one of the big differences that separates Bank of Floyd from their larger competitors.
Unlike the mega banks that operate on the philosophy of, if it's Tuesday, we'll call you about a home equity loan, we focus on individual customer solutions, and we do it again and again. We take the time to understand the drivers of your business's success. You want to take a look at that? Anything you got a question about in there?
I like to have that one-on-one contact. If a man's in Manhattan, I'm probably not going to look out there in my front door of my office and see him pulling up, seeing if there's anything that he can do to help us.
Why are we here? Our core value is simple and has never changed. Our purpose is to help our customers be as financially successful as they possibly can be. Craftsmanship is how we do it. We understand that we need to earn our customers' business every time. And to do that, we need to know them.
Mike has made my life a lot easier, lots easier. And I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. And I know it's not only making it easier today, but it's going to make it easier on down the road. Bank of Floyd has our best interest.
We may not be able to solve the challenges of a global economy, but at Bank of Floyd, we can sure solve your problem.
The people in our area are dependent upon these small banks. They're the only thing that's kept us alive. When we come through these hard times or bad economic times, we still survive, but we wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been for the small banks.
Bank of Floyd, neighbors helping neighbors. That's what we do best. Experience the difference.
Hey there, you know when you're stressed, right? Many of the signs of stress are so obvious, we often overlook them. When we think about stress, we tend to think about things like elevated blood pressure, elevated heart rate, But stress can also show up as overeating, undereating, insomnia, irritability. When you find yourself in a tense and overwhelming situation, just stop for a minute and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And then ask yourself, what really needs to be done right now? And what's the minimum I can do to get it done? Always keep the big picture in mind. Whether it's on paper, in our planners, our electronic devices, or in our heads, we've all got a to-do list. And during the holidays, that to-do list grows. With preparing for guests, shopping, and Christmas presents, it's no wonder we feel overwhelmed. Sometimes the to-do list stress is simply because we're trying to get too much done. Here's a great way to take your to-do list and whittle it down into manageable chunks. Take the items on your to-do list and check off the top 6. After you've done that, take the top 6 and then pick 3 out of that. Now, give yourself permission just to focus on those 3 items. And when those 3 are done, focus on the next set. Before you know it, all these things and more will be completely finished. If you're having trouble deciding which tasks should move to the top of the list, here's an approach that's sure to help. Divide your to-do list into 2 halves. On one half, list the things that are important. These are activities that are tied to things that we want to accomplish. On the other half, list the things that are urgent. These are tasks that require our time, usually being pulled by other people. If you continue to focus on the important things, you'll find time for the urgent things. Certainly, emergencies can arise, but if you focus on the important things, you'll find you're less stressed and you'll stay on task. Finally, take a couple seconds and ask yourself the magic question. When am I going to get all this stuff done? By assigning a time or a due date to the task on your activity list, you'll find that everything doesn't have to get done right now, and that's definitely a stress reliever. In the end, it's all about managing stress. Even if you have to break your task down into smaller tasks, you'll still get it accomplished. Remember, it's okay to say no sometimes. This is Lanice reminding you to put first things first. After all, it's your life. This Healthy Living Tip of the Week is brought to you by Dr. Lanice Anderson and the Healing Tree Wellness Center. When you think health, think Healing Tree Wellness, where the impossible is possible.